Facebook studied 700 brains specifically to see how we engage with content. And in their findings, they give us 4 things that will improve our content. This is coming directly from Facebook. So I'm going to break down those 4 things and tell you exactly how you can implement it with your content, okay? So number 1, they say it takes 5 to 7 seconds for our brains to process what's happening. This is important to know. 5 to 7 seconds. Within those 5 to 7 seconds, there are certain things that we can do to help clarify things for viewers and also keep them engaged once they finally process what's going on. However, there is one massive mistake that most all of you are making during those 5 to 7 seconds. The biggest mistake you're making, okay, is remember the point of your hook is to always create a curiosity gap. It's to basically say or do something that puts a question in the viewer's head and they want to watch the video to get that question answered. For example, this hook here, this one-liner says, here's the secret to going viral. Now the viewer is like, okay, I want to know how to go viral. A mistake would be to close that gap too soon, to give them the answer too soon, right? Here's the secret to going viral, posting trial reels, right? So by the time the brain processes that it just got the answer, it's going to swipe away. So there's 2 things that you can do to fix this, okay? Number 1 is rehook them. So in some cases, you kind of have to answer the question right away. For example, here's the secret to going viral. Post trial reels. Now, this is what we consider a rehook. When I say, but most people mess this up, right? Super basic, just for example purposes. But do you see how now I'm creating a new curiosity loop? The first curiosity gap was basically like, hey, I want to know the secret to going viral. Now, the curiosity gap is, okay, I don't want, what are people messing up on when it comes to trial reels? Because I don't want to be that person, right? So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, let me go back to this. All right, strategy number 2 is just to delay the solution. This is probably the more effective one. And here's what I mean. In the hook, here's the secret to going viral. People are going to watch the video because they want to know the secret to going viral. Now, notice how I talk about trial reels at the very end. So throughout this video, I'm giving them the information that they need. I'm not wasting anyone's time. See, something that you have to understand is that there is a relationship between you and the viewer. The viewer wants something answered. They want information. You want to give them the information, but in exchange for their watch time. You want them to watch your video for as long as possible. So how you package it matters. Because look, the truth is this. If I'm teaching you how to post trial reels, there's a lot of information you need to know about. Unfortunately, the moment you know the secret to going viral is trial reels, you're going to swipe away. I can't allow you to do that. You need to hear more of what I have to say. So I'm going to package it in a way where I'm going to give you all the important information first, then I'll let you know what the answer is, right? So here's the secret to going viral. For a while, Instagram's algorithm was shaky. People started leaving TikTok, so they spent billions fixing it, testing new systems behind the scenes, trying to figure out how to push content to the right people faster, and now the code's been cracked. There's a new way to go viral. It's called trial reels, right? Now you could swipe away, whatever. All right, let's talk about the next thing. So the second thing they said is all your videos should have audio, visuals, and text, and that's because it hits all the different parts of the brain. Pretty self-explanatory with how you can do that. But this next part is very important. Your visual text hook, right, shouldn't match what you are saying. And this is another problem I see people making. So, for example, right, let's say your hook is, here's how to find the password to any Wi-Fi. Well, your visual text hook, right, what is said in the very beginning, should match directly what this says. This is too long. I couldn't process it. Remember, we read faster than we can hear things, right? So you want to make this super short and digestible. In fact, if you read my visual text hook, it doesn't really make sense, right? How to find password any Wi-Fi. What? But if you quickly look at it, it tells you exactly what it is. You're digesting it so fast. You didn't even notice that there was a problem, right? So that's the goal. directly from Facebook. They're telling you, don't freaking say exactly what you're saying. Shorten it, make it more punchy, make it more catchy. Now, I will give you a little quick worksheet for you to do. By the way, this is absolutely a video that we did for our client. This is one of our clients, Patrick. And if you want to see if you qualify to work with us, there's going to be links somewhere below for you to apply. And if we're taking on clients, we can, we'll talk about the next steps. Anyway, what the heck? All right, let's go to the worksheet. All right, so there's three main things we focus on when it comes to your visual text hook. Cut your hook down to 3 to 7 words. That's the key spot. Do not go above 7. Do not go above 7, okay? All right, number 2. Use trigger words if possible, okay? So use words that make people feel something, right? So swap boring words for something stronger, right? Instead of saying, I lost my money, you could say, I'm going bankrupt, right? Like, that's what I mean by trigger words. Image, this is powerful. Notice here, I'm using the Wi-Fi symbol, right? So pick an image. These are 3 things we usually focus on. Something familiar or trendy, that's the Wi-Fi. A quick preview of what they'll learn, and or before and after photos, okay? So that is that. All right, number 4. Don't make videos under 15 seconds. I mean, I don't completely agree with this. However, they did say that the sweet spot is 25 to 45 seconds. That's enough for the brain to fully understand what is going on and fully be engaged. But again, whatever. But I will say this, okay? Let's say that you have a 15-second video and you need to stretch it for longer. Okay, well, you need to know how. So you do that by adding re-engaging transitions. So if you notice, like, really good viral videos will always have these type of transitional words where it's like, but then, but most people miss this, but that won't work unless, right? So for example, if I'm like, the first thing you need to do is open up your laptop and download this new app. However, or this new app called Premiere Pro. However, you have to download this next app or else Premiere Pro won't work correctly. And that is this, right? So that's what these re-engaging transition loops are. All right, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I will get back